So you're wanting to have swarms of detonators in your game, and you'd like to know how. So this is how you use the custom difficulty mod to mod your game to have, you know, swarms of whatever things you would like, or change pretty much anything about the game that you want to change for funsies. So what you want to do is you go into your modding menu, and here you can see I've already downloaded and installed some mods, obviously. If you haven't downloaded it, go down here to manage mods, and it'll open up the Steam overlay. By the way, if you have disabled the Steam overlay for deeprockgalactic or for all games, this doesn't work. So you need to make sure that's enabled. Then once this opens up, search for custom difficulty. There she is. And here it is. So I would recommend, if you're going to use this, you have a look at the different links that are available. So particularly, there is a quick and dirty guide to custom difficulty for deeprockgalactic. Just click on that. This is a PDF, and this gives an explanation of how to, well, a rough explanation of how to edit a lot of the fields in the file, which we will look at. I didn't really read this, actually, because you don't have to read the whole thing to understand what's going on. But there are a couple of links in here that were pretty critical to doing some more interesting stuff. So, namely, there is one here. This full list of enemy descriptors. So this is something that I highly recommend that you have a look at. This is where you will find all the definitions that you need in order to put in the different enemies that you want. So this is the name of the enemy, and then this is all of the, well, it doesn't have to be an enemy, this is the name of the, like, asset. And then this is all of its characteristics. You can sometimes edit all of these, it depends on a lot of factors. Anyways, this is the information that you need to make basic changes, is the name that the game gives to the enemies that you want to change or add or whatever. So you can scroll through here and it lists every single one, right? And they all have this kind of descriptor, eady something something. So I've grabbed a couple of interesting ones that I like that you might want, like detonators, Crassus detonators, etc. So this is Crassus detonator, actually. eady spider exploder tank king. So you need to get some of these ones that you're interested in. So make sure you go in here and grab that one. So you can also check out other difficulties that people have created. I haven't uploaded anything here. I don't know, I never really thought about it. But if you're missing something, you can come here and get it. Right? They have the carry mod that a lot of people liked, and a few other things. I think some of these come default with the mod. You'd have to check it out. So once you have downloaded the mod, you want to activate it. So it's also going to require this mod hub, which you have to select by default. Dang, I didn't drink my beer. So now to open the mod console, we will push H, and you have to hold it down for a second. So there it is. So, and then you click custom difficulty. I held it down for too long, and it took away my HUD, actually. There we go. Okay, so this is what you see. If you click this, it takes you to the same GitHub page we looked at already. And so it will come preloaded, like obviously I created a lot of these, but it will come preloaded with some that you can edit. So let's just click this one for one I've created. So then it populates a whole bunch of fields that we can go through briefly. So the first one is the name. You want to change the name, I guess, and the description to be the same thing for simplicity. And at the beginning of the file, this is where you'll see information about number of enemies that are allowed to be available and multipliers for difficulty. So I've basically changed this to a carry mod so that there is only one difficulty of enemies and the game doesn't scale it when more people join. It's just always the same difficulty. Otherwise, there would be 4 numbers in each of these fields that would represent each of those difficulties. So do what you want. Anyways, let's scroll down here to the section where you're going to want to add an enemy such as Detonator Swarm. All the things I'm scrolling past, these are swarm timers, which you can edit. I would recommend reading the guide if you want to understand how to change the swarm timers. So let's go down here. And so at the bottom of this section that gives like pool size and hazard bonuses, etc., there is a section that has enemy pools, common enemies, special enemies. So right before that is where you would add this section for enemy descriptor. So this is also described in the mod file. And a handy thing about this mod, if you make a syntax error, it tells you at the bottom that you have an invalid file. So try to avoid doing that. So if we wanted to make it detonators, this happens to be the name for detonator. So you have to give, this is the first field is just a name, like a descriptive name. So I just called it this so that I would remember what it was. And this is what you're going to write in other places in the mod file to invoke this enemy descriptor. So then you have a base, which is the thing itself. So in this case, it's the detonator. And then you can add other fields underneath that is not limited to what I've shown here to edit how this creature will then spawn. So I've only added things that I think are relevant, can be used for constant pressure, and can be used in encounters. This ensures that the detonators are allowed to spawn as part of any type of spawn. So even in, point extraction missions where a little bit of enemies kind of come like every so often, like every minute or every 30 seconds even, that's allowed to be detonators if you set this to true. If you set these two to false, then it makes it such that this creature kind of only spawns as part of the official swarms where management calls out the swarm. The other part we added is the swarm size control numbers and then the rarity. So this, I think, is the minimum to control what you want the swarm to do. So you put ideal swarm size, like average swarm size, and then a max and a min. And then you put in a rarity value. So this determines how often this creature will spawn as part of the swarm. This isn't the only way that you can control that, but this is the first one that we've run into. So this can be a number from 1 to 10, where the higher the number is, the rarer that it is. I find if you put a 4 or less, when you put less than a 4, it virtually guarantees that this thing's coming like every second. If you put a 4 or 5, you're going to get detonators or whatever you've chosen, like 50% of the time. So then once you've created your enemy descriptor, and by the way, right, you can add more if you want, right? You can have stack up as many as you want. Then you have to place your enemy descriptor into one of or more of these fields at the bottom to describe when or how it's going to spawn. So there's 2 fields. There's a clear field and there's an add field. This is by default set to false. So that's telling the game is that the enemy pool is just the default enemy pool. If you set this to true, it completely clears the enemy pool except for whatever you type in here. So I was testing something, so I cleared the enemy pool except for this. So basically, if you just want only detonators, you'd set this to true. And then the only creature that's in the enemy pool of enemies is the detonator. So you might think that that would mean that there's only detonators, but no, you'll still get some other enemies because of, I don't know, the way that it does these enemy pools. You can clear the enemy pool, and you can add and you can remove specific enemies from each of these sections. So then you just, as you like, put in some detonators and then see how it goes. So, maybe let's do a test, right? Okay, so what we're going to go ahead and do is we're just going to add the detonators to every one. And I guess there's no reason to... Here. So if you want 100% to guarantee detonators spawn in your game, this will get the job done. Okay, so now we're going to save that. So once you have the file set up the way you want to go ahead and restart your lobby. So for testing purposes, a quark mission is a good choice because you will get a lot of enemies coming right away, and you can tell if it's working.
Here we go!
Okay.
Our scanners have picked up a massive deposit of a quark. We're sending you in alongside a heavily armed looter to get as many out as possible. We're picking up extreme biosigns in the area, so keep it snappy. Quarks can be extracted from the walls. Search for...
Oh no!
Get it done, team.
Oh my god! My god, like...
Access provided. I made a platform.
Like a little
Help me with
helper
the
box
minerals here. Platform create. Bam! Platforms placed. I'm totally loaded.
Fuck no.
Die, monsters!
This is weird residual rumble in here.
Platform up.
Oh fuck me.
Support fire, please! One sentry gun ready to be filled. Sticky build! One down! Stick around!
Oh my fucking lord.
Sentry on! Make it go boom! I need support!
Please! Oh, Pringles!
One platform ready to use. Die! Like that! Feel my wrath!
Run a little low on ammo already. Get back down here so I can see what else.
Platform! Tension gun needs assembling. Reloading. Focus fire here.
Fucking cools.
Got no flares ready. Platform! Never felt better.
Dude, we gotta dunk one of these fucks.
Bring the pain! Attack!
They're on fire, right?
Swarm! It's a big one, team!
Sentry gun needs assembly. Reloading.
Yeah, let's let the swarm come before we kill these things. And we have a chance.
It's past your expiration date. What's this? One sentry gun ready to be built. Platform.
Shit, he did not do any damage.
Covering fire. One platform ready to use. One sentry gun ready to be built. Let's go have some pain.
Ouch. Look at that shit. Well, that's not good, is it? More detonators.
You bug hot.
How much ammo do we got? Not enough, man. Not looking good, boys.
Access provided.
Where's that nature? Oh, yeah, just enough.
Resupply order.
Nitro has been withdrawn and supply pod is inbound.
That's all you got, you slippery shit! Resupply arrived, go restock! Clear, not
We're
ready
not
yet.
getting the fucking resupply, though. Dead. We just literally cut ourselves off so badly.
Yeah! I feel vitalized. I'm taking some of the ammo.
Yeah, boy.
Die, monsters! I made a platform. Don't get too attached now. Ready to kill some more crates.
So, It's not going well.
Die! Yeah! This should get things started.
Man, modular exterminator versus detonator. I didn't see that this close.
Swarm, they're here.
Don't stand a chance against us. Sticking it to the bum. Bam!
Fuck!
Platform up. Bacteria Troy eliminated.
Come on, get this shit started up.
Be ready for anything.
Yeah!
Eat lead!
Did you compress Hoarder?
Platform!
Kill shit! You can do it!
Platform place. Die, you double-jointed freaks! Die!
Is it killing shit?
That.
There's this fucking drones around me. What the hell's that? No! Is it killing shit?
Flares ain't ready!
I can only hope.
I got it!
No! It's worth it. Is it killing shit? It doesn't kill them? Look at that shit. It doesn't kill them. That's like ridiculous, man.
I'm back and brutal. Get explored! Yeah!
What was that hitting me?
That will teach you! Back wall!
Yeah, where's the detonator?
Shoot it!
What the?
One platform, ready to use. Roll back the hell!
Like, if this thing's supposed to be modularly exterminating the enemies, why isn't it modularly exterminating shit for me?
Save my machine house millions.
It doesn't even look like it's fucking hurting them, is it?
Fail! Gotta be faster next time.
Oh, here's some of that.
Nope, the flares are recharging. Bug trap 2.0. Thanks, Bosco!